By all accounts, General Mark Milley has served this country with honor ever since he enrolled in the Princeton Army Reserve Officers Training Corps in 1980. Until now. Now, the honorable thing for General Milley to do is resign as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon. Calls for Milley's resignation have come after advance excerpts from the book Peril, co-authored by Washington Post journalist Bob Woodward and Robert Costa. The book details 2 phone calls made by Willey to his counterpart in the Chinese military in the waning days of the Trump administration. According to the book, Willey assured Chinese General Li Zuocheng that an attack by the United States was not imminent. The book quotes Willey as saying, "If there's going to be an attack, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. It's not going to be a surprise." The phone calls have been confirmed by a spokesperson for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But at the time, General Milley didn't inform the president, the commander-in-chief of the military, or anyone at the White House about the phone call, including his immediate boss, Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller, who said in a statement, "I did not and would not authorize the general to make such a phone call." Miller went on to say the phone call was disgraceful and joined the chorus of people asking for Milley to resign. Milley was in effect conducting his own back-channel insurgent foreign policy without any authority. And it seems like his reasons were political, since he was also having back-channel conversations with the Democratic Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi called General Milley 2 days after the Capitol riots on January 6 and asked him to monitor the president's access to the nuclear codes. The authors of the book obtained a transcript of the phone call in which Pelosi said if they couldn't even stop him from an assault on the Capitol, what else might he do? Milley responded, "Madam Speaker, I agree with you on everything." After that seditious phone call with the Democratic leader, Milley then made his phone call to the Chinese general. He also reached out to those at the White House with knowledge of the nuclear codes and told them to contact him immediately if the president tries to use them. In a nation divided, politics corrupts every story. Those on both sides of the divide seem compelled to defend the indefensible just because they're obligated by their voter registration. However, this phone call by Milley is indefensible. But President Biden came to the general's defense.
General Milley did the right thing.
I have great confidence in General Milley.
White House spokesperson Jen Psaki reiterated Biden's defense and then took a swipe at the former president.
This current president, who follows the Constitution, who's not fomenting an insurrection, who follows the rule of law, has complete confidence in Chairman Milley and him continuing to serve in his role.
So the logic seems to be somehow because Trump was president, treason is okay. And since the White House secretary brought up the United States Constitution, it's important to point out that the Constitution says that charges of treason can be brought if someone is adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. The Milley phone call promising to call our enemy if there was an attack sure seems to fit that definition. The most interesting opinion about the phone call comes from former Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman. Vindman was a high-ranking military member of the National Security Council. Vindman testified against Donald Trump in the first impeachment proceedings. Trump, you'll remember, was impeached over a controversial phone call with the Ukraine president. Vindman is widely considered the whistleblower in that case. Vindman thought that phone call was wrong. He thinks the Milley phone call is wrong too. In a tweet, Vindman wrote, "If this is true, General Milley must resign. He usurped civilian authority. He broke the chain of command, and he violated the sacrosanct principle of civilian control over the military. It's an extremely dangerous precedent, one you can't walk away from." The full transcript of the phone calls must be released by the Pentagon. Congress must hold hearings and call General Milley to testify. General Milley must resign or be relieved of his duties. A court-martial or a trial for treason could follow. To be honest, I thought General Milley should resign after commanding the embarrassing debacle that was the withdrawal from Afghanistan. But now, after reportedly giving comfort to foreign enemies of the United States during a time of crisis and colluding with political enemies of the president, Milley has to go now. I'm Larry Menti. We'll talk again soon.